Film Associates of California, The Factory, how a product is made.
Thank you and good night.
I'm getting stuffed up.
Oh, jeez.
In our country, there are many different kind
Welcome to the
factories
wall.
making many different kinds.
What?
What?
Huh?
In factories, people work together at machines to make many of the products that help us live better and
See,
easier.
this is what people did before robots took over.
Mm-hmm.
The products
They're
made in a
robots.
factory take a great deal of planning, preparation, and work on the part of many people.
Don't you wish you could get back to this, America?
Let's visit a typical factory.
It's this depressing.
In this toy factory, millions of toys are made.
Toys.
Ah!
Toys like these honey bears,
Those
God.
are toys? Those are creepy.
Ugh.
musical clocks,
What? That's not. What?
If you say so.
toy
Yeah,
guitars,
that's kind of cool, I guess.
and merry-go-rounds.
Again,
Yeah.
But
So-
now, let's see how this factory plans for and produces a new product. Let's see how a factory
Okay.
works.
Hmm.
This is the
no,
factory
it needs
planning
more sex
board.
appeal. More!
These men plan or decide what the factory shall make. At today's meeting, a number of ideas are presented.
These are the overpaid guys that
One
sit in
man
the chair
suggests
and
that
don't
the company
actually do any work.
manufacture a jack-in-the-box, and he draws a rough sketch to show what it might look like.
I think that's just a box, Dave.
It's.
What's in the box?
What's in the box?
What's in the box?
This cute little head.
Then the idea is improved upon. Why not make a jack-in-the-box with music? A kind of jack in
His
the
music?
box.
My God, you're mad!
Or is he a genius?
Sketches of this idea are sent to the experimental department.
I understand.
A worker in this department makes a sample or experimental model of the new toy. This is what the jack in the music box will probably look
In the
like
box!
if it is finally manufactured.
Devil clown.
Oh my God, my eye!
Ah!
The model is now taken to the art department.
God, who the hell made
Here,
this?
an artist makes rough sketches of pictures that may be used to decorate the outside of the jack in the music box.
What if we made him a samurai pickle? Would that be cooler? We can totally...
Then he takes his sketches and the decorated box back to another meeting of the planning board. The men on the planning board check the completed model.
That's hilarious.
So much
They look
fun.
over the sketches, deciding which ones they want to appear on the new
See,
toy.
this one's just not creepy enough. No.
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 We need more pastels. Pastels and glitter.
The jack in the music box is finally approved for
Join
production.
us.
Engineering is the next step in the production of the toy. In the engineering department, highly trained engineers plan exactly what parts will be needed and how the toy will
We
be
need a
made.
box and we need a jack.
They also design the tools that will be used to make the parts for the toy.
You know, these guys have just been doing a lot of drawing of the box.
The engineering department's
wanna get that
plans are
box
put onto blueprints.
Just right.
The head of each factory department will read these blueprints and be able to tell his workers what to do.
No idea what the hell.
His workers. I heard that.
One set goes to the tooling department. Here, tool and die workers
Department.
make the machines or
This is where they
tools
keep all
that
the
will be
tools,
needed
all
to
right.
manufacture the parts for the toy. Here are some of the tools being made.
I already made the joke. You don't actually have to call them tools, guys. I'm sure they're perfectly nice people. Well, that's
Yes.
useful.
This is the horror show in which your two
Another set
toys
of
are
blueprints
made.
goes to the purchasing department. This department will buy the raw materials, the cloth, springs,
No
metal
springs.
sheets, and other things that will be needed to make the
Make sure
new
it's
toy.
filled with plenty of lead.
Finally, extra workers must be hired to
So
do
I
the work.
understand you're a woman.
The man in charge of the personnel department is interviewing a woman who wants a job.
A woman who wants a job.
Hilarious.
What?
The raw materials to make the toy arrive
What will
at the
they
factory.
think of?
You...
Steel tubing, coils of wire, strips of metal, and the many other materials that will be needed.
So metal, man.
Workers arrive at the factory to do the many different jobs.
They will soon be laid off.
Now the tools have been made. The machinery has been moved into place. The parts for the jack in the music box are coming off the production line. This machine is called a shearer. It cuts off strips of metal for the body
Sometimes
of the toy.
fingers. Oh!
This automatic punch press is finishing the chime bar for the jack in the music box. The chime bar makes the music.
That's also where the workers go after work.
Sounds like an unnecessary little bar.
This coil of wire is fed into another punch press. This press uses a piece of metal called a die to cut off and form cranks and axles for the new toy.
This is also incredibly painful.
Now the parts have been made, and the workers are ready to assemble or put together the jack in the music
Not
box.
1 ounce of joy.
This is the assembly line. Each worker here does one special job, adding her part to the toy as it passes along the line.
Or his. What, there are no men working in here?
Let's start at the beginning of the assembly
Segregation!
line and follow the process through. This is the first assembly operation.
God, if I never see another goddamn jack in the box. Too goddamn soon.
This woman is using a machine which bends the flat metal sheets into the can body that will be used for the jack in the music box.
I think it's really tedious, actually, to have to
The
call
cans
it a jack
move
in
down to the
music
next
box.
worker on the line.
Uh,
This worker joins or rivets in the parts that make the music.
she will do this for 19 hours straight.
This is what they look like in place.
That.
This girl puts on the crank and the rubber belt that make the music
Her
box
will
work.
has not quite yet been broken.
Then she checks the music-making part of the toy.
Oh god, that must be just absolute hell.
Wow.
Every day.
I can hear it in my sleep! It will never leave my soul!
Another worker places a cardboard tube containing the clown's suit inside
The overseer
can.
is ever present.
And still another worker operates a machine that puts the top and bottom on the can body, curling the edges so the toy will be safe to play with.
Man, does that look unsafe.
Now the clown's head is made ready for the new toy. A worker glues a hat on the head.
Not really so much a hat as just a piece of round felt. I mean,
Yeah, it's...
they didn't really try very hard on that, just saying.
Then the head is attached to the long spring that will make it pop up.
What do you-
Springs!
The spring, with its head, is placed inside the suit and the cardboard tube.
eventually they start going too fast and they have to start putting them in their mouth.
The suit is clipped around the clown's neck, and the toy is tested to make certain that it works right.
Oh, that would drive me insane.
Workers tend to last only a few days on this station. Tend to take their own lives. Okay, we get it!
God.
Finally, the completed Jack in the Music box is placed inside a cardboard
In a
container,
box.
ready to be sold to...
Mind blown.
Wow.
This is the sales department of the factory.
Sexual harassment
The toy
is
is being
everywhere.
sold,
Look at that.
and orders are
guy's
coming in.
Shirts. That
Here
was
is an order
amazing.
for 36
That
dozen.
collar out to his shoulders.
Wow.
Shipping containers filled with toys are loaded into railroad cars.
You know, if you have to have a guy in front of that, I mean,
Trucks
that is
are
totally
loaded
just
too.
gonna fall on. It's just only a matter of
And
time.
the toys are sent on their way to hundreds of stores everywhere.
Well, that was just really great there.
You have seen some of the steps that must go on in almost any factory in order to manufacture a product.
I never want to see
First,
another
the
music
planning
box.
board plans
We're
the
now
product.
reviewing everything that we just saw. Okay.
Next, the experimental department and
Because we have no memory.
the art
Ah!
I'm
department
drawing ninjas.
make the first model.
Yeah,
Ninja
it looked
pickles.
nothing like that.
No, it didn't.
Then the engineering department designs the parts and tools needed.
The tools.
Raw materials and workers come into the factory.
What's this made for?
Now the parts are made on the production line. Next, the parts
Just
move
a-
down an assembly line
These kind
and
of
are put
videos are
together.
made just to show the children so their eyes will glaze over.
Finally, the product is
Well,
shipped to stores
It's
all
working on
over
me,
the
I
country.
can tell you that much.
Yeah, this is
From factories come a great many of the things that make life better, easier, and more fun
What's this?
for
Oh,
all of us.
I hit the thing. Oh, yeah. Let's keep your eyes away. Oh, my eye!
It's paid to have fun.
well,
Wow.
it is an amazing, amazing thing. Seriously, has there ever been a time where Jack and the Boxes were actually fun to being interesting and innovative?
Maybe like 150 years ago, but